Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I'm going to be talking about should the NCAA college athletes be able to start their own podcasts. I think that if you're an NCAA athlete, college athlete at that, and you want to start your own sports podcast talking about everything sports, or even if you want to just start a podcast and it not be about your athletic ability and sports, I think that you should have all right to start a podcast and have a way to express yourself outside of the field, the court, or the playing field. Because for podcasts, it's a way for you to express what you feel, what you want to say, and it gives you a way to have the freedom of speech along with having a way to express your emotions. And I think that as college athletes, you should be able to express your emotions however you feel you want. Now, I do know a podcast but that their quarterback, Adrian Martinez from Nebraska, he has a podcast called Athletes Unfiltered, where obviously he's an athlete and he doesn't have a filter and stuff, and he has a pretty good podcast. I know another podcast that obviously he's a former college athlete, but he was still doing the podcast during college, and his name is Pat Shermer, who was with the Maine Blackbears as a hockey player, and obviously his podcast was called Behind the Cage, and he talked all things college hockey. And I think that that's a great way to talk about your sport that you play, whether that's what you want to do, or if you want to be the Nebraska quarterback and just talk about all things sports and stuff. But I think that is a great way to have a platform to express your emotions and what you feel. And I think that all college athletes should start having a podcast and listening to other athletes' podcasts. Maybe go on each other's podcasts. Be a guest on a podcast of your teammates. Do whatever it takes, but I think all college athletes should have a podcast or be involved in some kind of podcast. Thank you for listening to Brandon Sports Talk on should NCAA college athletes be able to start a podcast on their own. See you in the next episode. Bye!